So when you typically think about anime, you think about big hair and action scenes. But however, there are different versions of hair in anime, and we've already explored the best hair in anime. If you want to watch that, it's in here somewhere. We did a bracket about the best hair, and someone that you might not think won. But today I want to talk about the opposite of big hair in anime, because there's another form of hair in anime that I really enjoy and I'm a big fan of, and that's lack of hair or a small amount of hair. That's right. Today we're going to be talking about the best bald-headed and buzz-cutted characters in anime. So let's get into it. Alright, so starting our list off here, this is not going to be in any particular order. It's just going to be, we got 8 of them to talk about, and you're going to hear about them. Me and my buddy Christian here will take turns talking about them. So first on the list is going to be Saitama. Okay, let's get it out of the way. He's the best bald-headed character in anime currently. He's the strongest. He's the funniest. He's the goat of bald-headedness. He's the representation of what it means to be bald. This man trained so hard his hair fell off, and that's another cool thing about like One Punch Man, is that it takes all the tropes of anime and it kind of like subverts your expectations when it comes to characters in anime and how they should act. Typically you're used to seeing them have big hair, but Saitama is the main character who has no hair. He actually embraces that. They lean into it a lot with his design. Some of the jokes that they make about him or he makes about himself all revolved around his bald head. He's just the ultimate poster boy for bald-headedness, and I appreciate him. So of course we had to include him on this list. So yes, starting us off is Saitama.
What's up, guys? Benny here. My thoughts on Saitama the GOAT. Yeah, I'm a big fan of, as you know, the overpowered pro tags in anime, and Saitama is the definition of overpowered pro tag. He is the one punch man. All it takes is one punch. But yeah, that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about his hair. Saitama, right off top, especially right now, when you go bald characters, that's the first word you think of. Everyone, Saitama. Next up on our list, my boy Chen Xiao, Daily Life of the Immortal King. We're talking overpowered pro tags. We move on into this next anime.
All right, next up on our list is another buzz-cutted character. It is going to be Gale Force from My Hero Academia. He is a part of class B? No, he's a different school actually. From a different school, he is the badass of all badasses in his class. He's like the most has the most potential. He's like the strongest one, but for some reason he can't pass his exam or whatever. I guess it's like his 3rd time doing it, whatever. Anyway, Gale Force is awesome because he's just like, I don't know what it is about buzz cut characters. They're always sort of like the comedic relief, but he's funny because he's so serious. Like he takes his job serious. He's kind of like Lita from the regular main class, whatever, but he's just like tries to be more like well-mannered, but he's not. You can tell he's kind of like a weirdo. He's just a big weirdo at the end of the day, and he has a beef inside of his heart with Todoroki for some reason, and he just can't get over it. Just him as a character is just like, I don't know how to describe it. He's just a weirdo. That's what I can think about. Like you see him and you see like all his powers and everything. They talk him up about how strong he is, but it turns out he's just like a fucking weirdo. And that's the thing about Gale Force wins here. He's just a big weirdo with a buzz cut. Why does he have a buzz cut? I don't know, but it's cool, and you see him slam it into the ground whenever he professes his apology to whoever he's talking to. He slams that thing on the ground, boom, boom, and you see him come up, and there's his cranium right there. Buzz cut and all, he's awesome.
My thoughts on Gale Force, that man, he is. Have you seen the fit, first off? I gotta make an honorable mention of that. That man's got one of the sickest fits in the entire anime, and he's all about ferocity. I was like, my thing is that he wears the hat, so he leaves it to mystery. You don't even know. He could have had a lot of hair under that hat. That's my favorite things about anime, is that you'll never know what's underneath that. Till he goes for the apology or takes it off, and you're like, boom, boom, bald ass head. We love that about the guy. And obviously, yeah, he's one of the biggest badasses in his class. And I like wind powers too myself, so I was like, I'm a little bit favorable to this guy. So moving on to the next one. Moving on into my wheelhouse, that is Bleach. We're talking about the main man himself, Bald Ichigo. Psych, it's Ikkaku from Bleach. A lot of people would say he looks like Bald Ichigo because, you know, the face model and everything, he's kind of the same. He just has a little bit more of the intense eyes. Ikkaku is badass because, you know, they don't have to focus on the hair. Obviously, you see in Bleach, you know, Ichigo is the strawberry hair guy. That's a big thing for him. You got like Renji with his crazy hair. All these guys, crazy colored hair and stuff. Ikkaku comes in, chrome dome, shiny, off top. The best thing about the man is that he's just, you know, he's a side character. You don't see much of him. And in Bleach, they're all Soul Reapers, and a lot of them, unless you're a lieutenant, don't have what's called a Bankai. It's like the superpower, like, you know, overload your energy kind of shit. Like, it's hard to explain. Ikaku doesn't have one. Like, they're not supposed to have one. So the best thing about him is that he's fighting this fucking cat guy. I don't remember the name of him. They're fighting, and he's about to lose, and he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm gonna give it my all right now. He's like, I'm gonna do it. Bankai whips out these big old like axe blades. He's got 3 of them. So he's not, and remember, he's not supposed to have one. So this man just goes off crazy. Love this guy. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you gotta check out my man. Bald Ichigo Saitama. That's what he looks like. The man Ikaku.
Okay, listen, this Ikaku man, that's all I think about. When I think of him, I think of Bald Ichigo. I told Christian before this. He was like, what about Ikaku? And he showed me before we did this video, and I was like, who? And I was like, oh, Bald Ichigo? Yeah, that guy's cool. He's not really cool. He just is funny because he looks like Ichigo. And I've seen like thumbnails that people made on YouTube, and it's like, Ichigo versus Saitama? Bald Ichigo versus Ichigo? What's happening here? And I just think it's funny that something in Bleach, something as serious as Bleach can be sometimes, that they have this character who exists. It's like, how did this make it past the storyboard phase? Like, how do they not see this and be like, you know what, if we just put hair on Ikaku, that's just Ichigo. But maybe they did on purpose. I don't know, maybe it's a joke, an inside joke that they have. I don't know, but from what I've seen pictures of him, he looks like a goon. That's cool. Most bald-headed characters are pretty much like just big goons. Like, they just beat the shit out of you, all hands only. And he doesn't have a Bankai apparently, so he is just all hands all the time. So yeah, Ikaku, for being a Bleach character, he's pretty cool. Okay, real quick, I just want to mention another Buzzcut character on this list. It's going to be Tanaka from Haikyuu. Now listen, Christian and I don't watch Haikyuu. We've only seen clips of it. But one thing about Haikyuu is they show love to their buzz-cutted characters. And from what I've gathered, Tanaka is probably the best one to represent Haikyuu as being a buzz-cutted character. So, Tanaka is on our list. We're just not going to really go into detail about him because we don't really know much about him. But he has a buzz cut, so he qualifies for the list. And he's cool because he plays volleyball. And anybody who plays sports and they have a buzz cut, they're aerodynamics. That means they're way faster than anybody. And also, in anime, if you have no hair, you're strong. So he's probably really strong. Maybe he's not, I don't really know. But his name's Tanaka. Tanakas are always strong, and buzz-cutted characters are always strong. So shout out to Tanaka, he's cool. Okay, so next up on the list, another buzz-cut representative is going to be Connie from Attack on Titan. This is my favorite character from Attack on Titan. Why? Because when I first saw him, he had a buzz cut. And for whatever reason it is, whenever I see somebody with a buzz cut in anime, I'm like, hey, that's my guy. I like him. He's cool. He's funny, I guess, but I think he has like the most interesting story out of like the side characters in Attack on Titan. He has this little love that he has with Sasha, aka Potato Girl, and they flesh him out a lot throughout the seasons as it goes. And you keep seeing him, and you're like, oh, that guy's always been around. He's always cool, and they keep giving him more and more to do each season, and I really appreciate that. I don't read the manga, so I don't know if anything happens to him, but if anything does happen to him, I will kill myself and anybody around me when it happens. So creators, if you're watching this, just don't do that. How about that?
I'll be real with you guys. I watched AOT. I read a little bit of AOT. I didn't finish AOT. I know what happens because, you know, people are spoilers and post things online, so I kind of see things. So it's like, I know a little bit about Connie and all that. As far as it goes, I was like, he is a badass. So I was like, I know he wants to, all he wants is to make his family proud. You know, and I could sympathize with that. He seems like a good man. And as far as like, as far as the AOT goes, it was like he is one of his hair gets a little longer. He does kind of stick in the balls, the buzz cuts kind of form. And I was like, he just looks like a badass. His eyes are kind of like dead, a little scary, you know, so he kind of looks like a guy you don't want to mess with. But it kind of sticks in the wheelhouse, you know, buzz cut guys, they're goons, they're strong. You don't really want to mess with them. Last up on the list, we had to start strong, so you know we're gonna finish strong with the strongest buzz cut in the game since the beginning. Actually, not even buzz cut. Bald man Krillin, our best friend from the beginning. As someone who grew up with DBZ and stuff like that, you know, the Super Saiyans, the long hair, you know, googling Super Saiyan 5, seeing that red gray Goku with the long super gray Super Saiyan hair. You're like, that's crazy. But then, boom, you have Krillin, little cue ball man. You're like, what is this guy? He's just a human. Nah, he's the strongest human. He learns how to do the Kamehameha. He learns how to fly. He goes one-on-one with Goku in Super. I don't know if he has hair at that point. I know he's a police officer. He becomes a police officer. Like, this man is just crazy. He's fought hand in hand with Cell, Boo, Jiren, and the Turner to Power. All sorts of things. This man is not afraid. He married an android. He was so down bad, he wished her to be a human so that he could knock her up. That's the real man right there. He's fought in so many martial arts tournaments. I could go on and on about this man. Krillin is just, he's your number one. He's gonna be your best friend, always gonna be there for you. You could be outnumbered, outmatched. He gonna be there backing you up. So shout out to Krillin. We love you.
All right, my boy Krillin, of course he had to be on this list. Personally, in my personal rankings, I do think he's the best bald-headed character in anime. Why? Because he's bald-headed. And anybody, like I said earlier, who's bald-headed in anime, they're going to attract me right away. So seeing him for the first time in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I was like, who's that guy? He's the opposite of everybody else in the show. I think he's cool. And it turns out he is cool. He does get shit on a lot in the show. He's like the butt of all the jokes usually, and it's kind of trash. But you have to respect him. He, like Christian said, he's the strongest human in Earth, technically. Human, not alien, because all the aliens are aliens, but Krillin, as far as a human goes, he's the strongest. He's a family man. He got the girl. Who else is getting girls in Dragon Ball Z besides Vegeta and Goku and Gohan and Hercule? Because with Boo and him, they're kind of like sisters.
He's the only one fucking.
That's right. He is the only one who fucks. Krillin is the only one who fucks. It is kind of crazy that he became a cop, though. I mean, we're not gonna talk about that. He fell off that way. But Krillin as a person, he's awesome. I love him. Everybody's copying his Destructo Disc. Everybody copies his unlocking potential. That's right. When I think of unlocked potential, I think of Krillin. I don't think of Gohan. I know some people like Chris like to think about Gohan when they think of unlocked potential. I think of Krillin. I always picked him in Budokai, all the Dragon Ball Z games. He's always, there's something about the smaller characters that you have to just root for. And having a bald head and being short is like the opposite of whatever Dragon Ball Z character designs are. He's just the opposite. Not to mention, in Dragon Ball, he was small and stout and super adorable. He's just awesome. Anybody who has a bald head is okay in my book. And Krillin is definitely okay in my book. I love you. All right, so that's going to be our list of the best bald-headed / buzz-cutted characters in anime. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this was fun to make because it is the opposite of whatever you think about anime. You think of big hair. This is just the complete opposite of that. And these characters usually always represent something fun within themselves. Like I said, they're always super strong. They're just goons. They're the opposite of what you expect. And they always have a good heart at the end of the day. They're a special place in anime, and I feel like there's just a whole like following for these types of characters within the fandom, and I'm part of that proudly. I enjoy them, and yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the list. Let us know down below if you have any other characters that you think are great. Of course, we didn't include like everybody. We wanted to kind of pick one from each franchise, so we didn't do like Roshi or Jiren or all those other like characters from Dragon Ball Z. And Haikyuu has like 40 buzz-cutted characters. We did not include them, but whoever you think should have been on this list, let us know down below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe, follow us down below, all that fun stuff, and we will see you next time. In the meantime, go get a haircut. Yep, so that's how you lift, I think. I feel like we got
Wait.
No.
Honorable mention, Armstrong. Honorable mention, Armstrong. I don't care if he's got little fucking hair right here. Honorable mention. He's getting in the list. Armstrong. He's bald.